question that the Browns need offensive help. And I'm telling you right now, Andrew Berry and Jimmy Haslam is making it their business to use these draft picks for the 2026 season to find new wide receivers, Shedeur, on the offensive side. They need wide receivers, a left guard, right guard, center, and tackles for Shedeur Sanders, bro, to be successful. I feel like if they can get him those tangibles, they got a very, very high chance of making the playoffs. And I mean not just making the playoffs, making it far in the playoffs, possibly AFC Championship type deal. I'm going to say Shedeur Sanders, the final 7 games of the season for the Browns, going 3-4 in those contests. He passed for 1,400 yards and threw for 7 touchdowns. Now, he did have a whopping 10 interceptions, but like I stated, a lot of those interceptions came due to players like Jeudy, and I ain't going to name nobody else, bro, that cannot haul the ball in. Now, but one of the problems for Sanders was lack of weapons. Jeudy was slated to be the team's #1 receiver, but finished the season with just 50 catches for only 602 yards.
One clash with Shedeur changed everything for Jeudy. With Andrew Berry making critical roster decisions, the fallout is just beginning. Andrew Berry and Jimmy Haslam are planning for the future, and it shows. They understand this offense isn't where it needs to be, especially with Shedeur Sanders as their developing quarterback. You can't keep pointing fingers at the quarterback when the tools around him aren't working. Wide receiver is already on the priority list, and for good reason. When you're building around a young quarterback, you give him real weapons, not excuses. The front office knows draft picks aren't just assets, they're protection for your quarterback's future. This isn't random planning, it's a direct response to what went wrong on the field. Let's be clear, Shedeur didn't just need wide receivers, he needed an entire support system, guards, tackles, a center, the fundamentals. Football isn't complicated. If your quarterback faces pressure every snap and throws to receivers who can't finish plays, the results will suffer. Despite everything, Shedeur still showed flashes that matter. With better blocking and reliable targets, this team could compete for real. That's not hype, that's logic. Give a talented quarterback time and weapons, and the ceiling changes dramatically. The Browns understand this, which is why changes are coming. Now let's address Jeudy, because this matters. When you clash with your quarterback during the season, you better back it up on the field. That didn't happen. Drops, missed opportunities, and visible frustration, that's what showed up instead. Shedeur took criticism for interceptions, but many resulted from receivers failing to do their job. If you're the #1 option, you have to play like it, not point fingers. Jeudy talked, clashed, and now the numbers speak louder than the noise. The team is moving forward, and it doesn't look like they're waiting on him.
Already, an article from clevelandbrowns.com has leaked some very, very important information. And I like hearing news like this, man, because this is the type of news that you want to hear. You want to hear big-time players coming and them actually getting more young guys to come in and possibly help the Browns make it over that hump for the 2026 season. It's being reported that the Browns projected to add All-American weapon for Shedeur Sanders. The Cleveland Browns need a makeover on the offensive side of the ball, and the team could opt to use one of its top picks in the NFL draft to give quarterback Shedeur Sanders a new weapon to work with. Guys, if it's to me, I think it's 2 things that the Browns desperately need to get for Shedeur on the offensive side.
This matters because the Browns finally sound like they're thinking clearly. The focus isn't on patching things up or hoping players suddenly improve. It's about genuine upgrades. Shedeur isn't the problem with this offense. Anyone watching closely knows that. A young quarterback needs support, not the pressure to carry everything alone. If the Browns are serious about 2026, adding a high-level offensive weapon makes perfect sense. You don't waste years asking a quarterback to figure it out with limited tools. You give him players who can separate, catch cleanly, and turn simple throws into real gains. Shedeur showed enough to prove he belongs, even in difficult circumstances. He played behind shaky protection and threw to receivers who didn't always help him out. Mistakes happen, but context matters. When a pass hits a receiver's hands and still ends up incomplete or tipped, that's not on the quarterback. This is where the frustration builds, especially with Jerry Jeudy. If you're supposed to be the top target, you can't disappear when the team needs you most. Clashing with your quarterback during the season only makes things worse when production doesn't support the talk. Browns leadership needs to be honest with itself. Loyalty shouldn't come before results. If a receiver can't support the offense, he's holding the offense back. Jerry Jeudy has had his chances, and the returns have been average at best. Shedeur deserves better. It's time to bring in someone reliable, focused, and ready to grow with the quarterback. Replace the noise with effort. Replace the drops with consistency. Let Shedeur work with players who actually want to win. That's how this team moves forward. Sometimes the loudest message comes from the numbers, not the names.
Reliable weapon was Harold Fanikin Jr. Now, Harold Fanikin Jr. proved that he is like that. I think him and Shedeur, with Luke Floria coming back, they can add some big-time key weapons to help flourish that offense, bro. Long as they got offensive tackles and guards to help hold the line steady for Shedeur to find these guys, it's going to be lights out football for the 2026 season. Now, the first-year tight end caught a team high 72 passes for 631 yards, bruh, and 6 touchdowns. And that's an all-team high. Now, with that being said, he ain't making $17.5 million, bruh. He got way more yards than Jerry Jeudy. Now, the Browns general manager, Andrew Berry, acknowledged that the team will invest in improving the offense as a whole this offseason. He went on to say it's no secret that that's where we're going to invest most of our resources this season, Berry stated. A year ago, we decided to make the pivot that we did. You also realize that you're not going to be able to accomplish anything at once the roster get done. Now, the offensive line, that position group, I do imagine will have a fair amount of turnarounds as we go into the 2026 season.
Young players stepped up and produced when their number was called. When a rookie tight end becomes the most trusted target on the team in his first year, that tells you everything. It tells you the quarterback makes smart reads and recognizes who's actually working. Pair that with other developing players and you're building balance. Why force throws outside when you can move the chains through the middle? Why not build an offense that actually helps your quarterback breathe? Shedeur's success ties directly to protection. This isn't complicated. Give him time and he finds people. Take that time away and any young quarterback will struggle. That's why the offensive line matters so much. Guards and tackles aren't luxury pieces, they're survival tools. When the line holds, Shedeur looks calm and in control. When it doesn't, the whole offense looks rushed. Do you want to see what he can really do, or do you want to keep guessing? How many times must pressure ruin good drives before the message sinks in? What stands out most is the honesty coming from the front office. They're not pretending everything is fine. They're saying straight up, this offense needs work, and they're ready to invest in it. That's the right mindset. You don't fix everything in 1 year, but you better start fixing the right things. If the offensive line gets rebuilt and Shedeur keeps building chemistry with players who actually produce, why can't this offense take a major step? Why can't 2026 be the year it finally clicks? The pieces are there. The question is, will the Browns finish the job?
Hottest topics that was on the 2025 season was superstar wide receiver Jerry Jeudy, man. Jerry Jeudy got a $40 million deal. He currently make like $17.5 million a season, and this young man can't seem to haul in a football and save his life. And what's crazy about it is that the Browns got a history of paying a lot of guys that don't perform to the amount of money they giving them. Now look at Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson has got an $80 million deal, and he's sitting on a damn bench. It's so bad that they can't even get rid of him because no one else is going to be willing to pay him that money, and they can't deserve to take that salary hit on the books, dog. Well, it looked like the same scenario could be coming in for superstar wide receiver Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy, like I stated, is scheduled to make all this money for the 2026 season.
The situation with Jerry Jeudy highlights a problem the Browns have dealt with for years, paying big money for players who don't deliver when it counts. You can't throw cash at a player and expect results to magically appear. Jerry Jeudy got a massive contract, over $17 million per year, yet he struggles to catch consistently. That's not bad luck, that's underperformance. When a player is supposed to be your go-to guy and can't haul in crucial passes, it puts unnecessary pressure on Shedeur. The young quarterback can only do so much when his top receiver can't finish plays. Shedeur's talent and potential are clear, but it's hard to build momentum with unreliable weapons. This isn't about one bad game, it's about consistency, and Jeudy hasn't shown it. What makes this worse is that this kind of mismanagement isn't new for the Browns. Look at Deshaun Watson's situation, an $80 million deal, and now he's on the bench because the team can't move him without taking a massive financial hit. It's a bad pattern repeating itself. When you keep paying big money to players who don't produce, it ties the team down and blocks progress. It's frustrating because it's not just about the players. Coaching and management have to own some of this too. Kevin Stefanski has been around this offense for a while, and you'd expect better planning and adjustments. Instead, we've seen questionable decisions about who to trust and how to use expensive players. When your highest-paid wide receiver can't consistently help your quarterback, it reveals a failure in both player evaluation and coaching strategy. Meanwhile, Shedeur is left carrying a heavy load without the support he needs. The young quarterback has shown flashes of brilliance despite these challenges. If the Browns want to move forward, the focus should be on building around Shedeur. That means reliable receivers who catch the ball, a solid protection up front, and a coaching staff that puts the right pieces in place. Jeudy's contract and performance don't match up. Continuing to lean on him risks holding the entire offense back. It's time for the Browns to stop settling for names and start demanding real impact. The question is, how long will they wait before making those tough calls? The clock is ticking, and Shedeur Sanders deserves better.